place money and third place money at the banquet. And I got to figure that that's on your mind pretty heavy tonight.
Well, actually, it does weigh in the back of your mind, you know, a guy wants to come out here and win this championship. We come to every single event this year. It's been a long year. Our sponsors have been right there with us. Phil Durst from Durst, Motorplex, Stu from Working America, Ray Williams, you know, all these guys have put 100% in this team, well over 100 races. We went out to win a championship, and now we're just trying to hang on to second.
He's 24 points up, and the man chasing him is standing by with our pit colleague, Dave Reef.
1997, Sammy Swindell won 19 features en route to his third Pennzoil World of Outlaws Championship. This year, he promised that he would duplicate that effort, but only 7 feature wins finds him in third place on the final night of racing. Sammy, what's been the difference this year for you?
Well, some of it, they changed how they start the dash, and it kind of hurt some of the guys that qualified good. But we've had problems. We just didn't finish a lot of races, and that's been the whole key. I mean, Channellock team has had the car where we could run up front. It's just been some of the circumstances this year that kept us from finishing races. I mean, we've had some parts failures, we've been in some crashes, and just some things happen that hasn't happened in quite a few years.
To make up those 24 points, he would have to finish 13 positions better than Mark Kinser. The champion and the challengers for the number 2 spot, those are just a pair of the stories we'll be looking at tonight on Motor Madness from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Coast and border to border, and on a beautiful fall evening, the Pennzoil World of Outlaws are ready to set to tangle it out for the 65th and final checkered flag of the 1998 racing season here at the Channellock Fall Classic at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Hi everybody, I'm Ralph Shaheen, strapped in alongside my co-driving partner here on our TNM Motorsports coverage of the World of Outlaws, Brad Doty. And you know, Brad, Steve Kinser has won championships every way possible, but he is always so strong. Now, you've ran with him for a championship before. Why is this guy so dominant?
He always has a way of picking it up, being one step better than the competition, it seems like. In 1987, he won 47 races. I led the points until June or July of that year. He ended up beating us by 150 points. I thought it was Carl and Steve, the combination. Steve has proven that he can win the championship on his own.
He sure can. And now look at this. There are some other drivers that have won more races than Steve in 1998. Stevie Smith has won more than anybody, picking up 13. Mark Kinser, Jack Hotenshield, they're right there, but they're not racing for the title. How come?
And you look at that stat. I mean, Steve, way down there in 6th, but he's been consistent. He's had this championship in mind. He wanted this so bad. He's worried about finishing and making sure the race car is right, taking what he can get and loading it in the trailer at the end of the night.
Not finishing races will keep you out of winning a championship, and it's amazing. Steve Kinser has found another way to win a title. He's dominated, now he's consistent. Throughout the course of the evening, we've got a lot of other stories to cover, including Dale Blaney being Rookie of the Year. I'd vote for that, wouldn't you? We'll be back.
Brought to you by Miller Lite, who reminds you to think when you drink. By Pennzoil, formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil. And by Mopar, Chrysler Corporation parts, and the Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, Jeep, and Eagle dealers who sell and install them.
It knows 2 speeds. Stop and go. It just beat a series of the toughest stop-and-go driving tests in the world, and it's brand new. You have 4.3 seconds. Introducing Pennzoil with new Pure Base. Stop. Go. Pennzoil.
Team Mopar. Parts for sprint cars and your vehicle. Get real. Get Mopar. Team Mopar. Parts for NASCAR Super Truck and your vehicle. Get real. Get Mopar.
Okay, buddy, let's see what you got.
You're on. How about the loser pays the other's phone bill?
It depends. Have you been dialing 10-10-321?
You know it. 10-10-321 saves over AT&T on every call.
What better way to keep in touch?
Yep, great for all those quick calls to Mount Ruth.
And saves me big time on those long ones to Grammy and Phoenix. 50% off calls over 20 minutes.
I hear you. Just dial 10-10-321, then 1 and the number.
It's the only way to do long distance.
Correction, my man. Oh! That's the way you do long distance. 10-10-321.
Welcome back to TNM Motorsports coverage of the Pennzoil World of Outlaws. Channellock Fall Classic from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We are set with the dash. Here's a lineup of the quickest qualifiers of the night. Mark and Steve Kinser on row number 1. Sammy Swindell alongside a young hotshot, Donnie Schatz. King of California, Brent Koenig, and the other youngster, Tyler Walker, who's made so much noise in '98 in row 3. Jack Hodenshield, the Knoxville National winner, Danny Lasowski in row number 4.
Can you beat it, Ralph? A full moon, the last Outlaw race of the season in Las Vegas, Nevada. We are going to rock and roll tonight on TNN Motorsports. This is going to be fun. And kind of a slick racetrack, which adds to a lot of thrills and takes the hammer away from some of the bigger horsepower cars.
Absolutely, and Mark Kinser is going to give us some phenomenal shots as he starts up on the front row with cousin Steve alongside. And it's really interesting, Steve has yet to win here in Vegas in 8 starts, and look where he goes, way up top as we go green.
Mark Kinser, on the other hand, dominated last night in the preliminary show.
Yeah, the top 2 rows in this dash were the top 4 finishers of last night.
Down the back straightaway, Mark Kinser, Steve Kinser, Donnie Schatz, Sammy Swindell, Lasowski already up to 5th, Walker, Koenig, and Hodenshield. Across the line for lap number 1.
Boy, look how far ahead Mark and Steve are from Sammy.
Donnie Schatz is way upstairs. Look at the battle between Sammy Swindell and Danny Lasowski here in the Channellock dash.
You can see the extreme different lines. Sammy on the bottom, hugging, trying to get that left rear in the moisture. Donnie Schatz keeping that right rear up in the moisture.
Sammy Swindell has only managed 1 World of Outlaw win in the last 40 starts. Brad, that's hard to believe.
It is. For a guy of Sammy Swindell caliber, that is hard to believe.
Especially the way he started this season.
Here comes Tyler Walker, though. He's won 3 of the last 8 World of Outlaw races. Boy, is that youngster on fire. He's got Lasowski on the bottom.
Back to Sammy. That's into turn 1.
Sammy holding off Lasowski. That's a fight for 4th. Remember how you finish is how you start.
How you line the A-main at the last lap, Ralph, on the white flag.
Mark Kinser out front. He's going to start way up front.
Look at his arms. See his elbows moving back and forth?
He has got a 50-yard lead over the king of the Outlaws, his cousin Steve.
His last race without a Mopar for quite a while. Mark Kinser takes the checkered flag in the dash. 2nd goes to Steve Kinser. 3rd coming to the line will be Donnie Schatz. 4th is Sammy. 5th is Danny. 6th is Tyler Walker. 7th is Brent Koenig. And crossing the line 8th is Jack Hodenshield.
And Mark dominating with the camera.
Yeah, who says those cameras weigh you down? Not Mark Kinser. He's the winner. TNN Motorsports coming back to the Pennzoil World of Outlaws at Vegas.
Brought to you by Radica, makers of the original bass fishing game. Get real. Get Radica.
Hi, I'm Hank Parker, and this is the bass fishing game from Radica. And if you like fishing, this is it. You cast like you're really fishing. Jerk to set the hook and reel him in. The game shakes when you're hooking. Man, you can feel that bass right on your line. Now, I'm a pro, and I'm telling you, this is the real thing.
Dad, I caught that 25-pounder.
Boy, it's wearing me out. Bass fishing, feel the bass on the line. Also, lunker and junior bass fishing from Radica.
reminder that at Red Lobster, the season isn't over.
Nasty storm. Wet road. Looks pretty bad, huh? No problem. That's the beauty of Subaru all-wheel drive, the ultimate safety feature. Thanks, kid. See, it automatically transfers power from the wheels that slip to the wheels that grip. And only Subaru puts it on every car they make. And that's no accident. Subaru, the beauty of all-wheel drive.
Welcome back to TNN Motorsports World of Outlaw coverage. Let's go downstairs to meet the winner of our dash here tonight. Here's Brad Doty, or Bobby Gerald, standing by with Mark Kinser.
All right, Ralph, we're down here with Mark Kinser. And as we talked about at the top of the show, Mark, 4 wins in 8 races here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and you dominated that dash. What is it about this place that brings out the best in you?
You know, I don't know. A nice wide track like this, kind of like Knoxville, it's been one of the places that even since I started racing, I always had a good feel for these kind of tracks, and you know, I think that's part of it. You know, we've had a lot of success here. This track's still fairly green, and it's been good to us and the World Outlaws.
I was talking with your father, Carl, a little bit earlier off camera about the tire selection here. This track, although it gets dry, it doesn't seem to get that abrasive. Do you think tires will be a factor later on tonight, or is it going to be pretty much par for the course?
Well, I don't really think necessarily that the wear of the tire is going to be all that specific, but the right tire combination is going to be very crucial tonight. The track is black. I don't believe it's going to take rubber, and you're not going to be able to use too hard a tire or too soft a tire. And if I knew which one it was, I wouldn't tell you anyway.
All right. Congratulations on the dash win. You'll be starting on the pole of the feature, and go for number 5 here at Las Vegas.
Oh, thank you, Bobby.
All right. Mark Kinser gets the win here. Easy, Ralph.
He sure did, Bobby. He absolutely dominated the dash.
Look at this. Are these people having some fun tonight in Las Vegas?
Well, let's show you some of the heat action from earlier tonight as we take a highlighted look back at the 4 heat races that were completed earlier, set up tonight's racing. Kick things off with heat number 1. Take a look at Jack Hodenshield, and the Pennzoil car comes flying inside of Terry McCarl to take the lead. That's exactly where Hod would stay as he goes on to win heat number 1. Heat number 2, Jeff Shepard in the white 4 goes after Gary Wright in a battle for the lead.
Yeah, Gary Wright was the pole sitter, and he backed up through this one. Not what you want to do when you start on the front row. Shepard goes by on the inside.
Shepard takes the spot, but there'd be more great racing in this one. Take a look at this 3-car battle. Gertie in the middle. That's Jacobs in the yellow car and Wright in the white one.
Yeah, and the 2 8 cars owned by Junior and Janet Holbrook.
These 3 would battle it out for position and the final transfer spots, but up front, Shepard would take the win. Heat 3 was by far the best action we've seen so far tonight. Stevie Smith in the Ingersoll Rand number 19 goes hunting after Calvin Landis. After starting 8th, he was challenging for the lead.
Well, he started so far back, he had nothing to lose but to look around, and he found the top of the racetrack and snuck by these guys before they even realized it.
But Johnny Herrera was pretty strong as well in the white 47, and he came to challenge for the lead.
Johnny was quite a gentleman there. He could have slid up and taken the line, and he let Stevie enough room to get by on the outside.
And behind them, even more great racing. Landis battles it out with Saldana on the bottom in the yellow and black Burger King car, and Andy Hillenberg upstairs in the Lux Air car.
Yeah, Landis just left it open for Saldana to get in there and take that transfer spot.
On to heat number 4. This one was a dominating race by Danny Lasowski. The way Mark Kinser dominated the dash, Lasowski dominated heat 4.
Yeah, he had a straightaway going down the back straightaway before they completed 1 lap. He'd stretched out a straightaway lead on him.
But there was some good racing behind him for the final transfer spot. James Chesson in the 22C, the green and silver car, and Kevin Pilot on the bottom. just nips Jessen for the final transfer to the A.
17-year-old kid just started in a sprint car.
Did a pretty good job, too, boy. As we get set now to get ready for the C feature here tonight, let's check in with Dave Reed.
Ralph, I'm down with Craig Dollansky, the Polydome car number 7, in a very unique position right now, and it has everything to do with this motor you see right here. Craig Dollansky in the C main. I'm as shocked as he probably is. What happened?
Unfortunately, we heard a motor last night, and we thought we'd have it running for tonight, and it didn't run for us. So we got behind the 8-ball a little bit and changed motors, and went out last year to qualify, you know, and the track really slicked out bad, and I didn't have a chance to warm the motor up. So we're just sitting way back, and hopefully we can get this Polydome Midwest Underground car up front, you know, in the C main here, and get into the B and go from there. But you know, we're just hoping for the best here.
It's a long road to the top, but we definitely know this young man can do it. He'll start in the 5th row in tonight's C main.
Always a little discouraging when you can't go directly to the A out of the heats. Stay with us, everybody. We will be back to the entertainment capital of the world with more of the Channellock Fall Classic on TNN Motorsports.
It's amazing what some people will do to save a little money.
What a piece of work.
Yet with one call to Geico, you could save 15% or more on car insurance. And considering the alternatives, making a phone call is pretty simple.
Amateur.
Geico Direct. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Dad, you're not going to use those, are you?
But you told me to use Bacos.
That was so yesterday.
Now there's new Bacos with better bacon taste and still no saturated fat.
You got to keep up, Dad.
With better bacon taste, new Bacos makes every bite better.
Been baking my chunky chicken pot pie. It's back at KFC. Flaky crust, chunks of chicken, loads of veggies, just $3.99 with a drink. Now that's some meal. So come on in and bring your appetite.
Welcome back to the leader in coverage of the Pennzoil World of Outlaws, the Channellock Fall Classic here on TNN Motorsports.
Think he's from North Dakota, maybe?
Pretty safe bet.
Donnie Schatz fan. Athlete of the Year in North Dakota.
Great sprint car fans up there in the Dakotas.
Oh, did we have fun up there?
Can't wait to go back, and TNN will take the cameras back to the Dakotas in 1999 as part of our Pennzoil World of Outlaw coverage. To Bobby Gerald.
Guys, I've caught up with Paul McMahon, and here's some great news. Paul McMahon and his wife, Jan, giving birth just this past week to, and it says right here, here she is, Kylie Donnell McMahon. And that's exciting for you, Paul. And Jan and everybody's doing okay back home?
Yeah, Bobby, it was great. I got to go home last Sunday to Phoenix and got Sunday night when we went to labor Monday morning and had her 12:22 in the afternoon, Monday afternoon. It was great to actually get home because we was getting a little nervous that I wasn't going to make it home. And, you know, it's great. I can't explain it right now. It's just to have a boy and a girl. I got a beautiful son, Braden, and now I got a beautiful daughter, and it's just great.
Congratulations to you and Jan once again.
Thanks, Bobby.
Ralph, you know, we are right next door to a major military installation. Is it Nellis Air Force Base?
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of communications gear over there that probably only the CIA knows about, but it tends to raise havoc with our RF communications sometimes, so we hope you'll bear with it. That's got to be what it is, because it happens every time we come here.
Let's take a look at the C main lineup. So we get set to run for 10 laps with 2 drivers going on to the B. Row number 1, Steve Coelho and Dwayne Bonini Jr. Travis Whitney in the 7S along the 7X of Raymond Shank. Jim Carter and Willie Hernandez in row 3. Sparky Howard alongside of Tim Kading, that's Brent's kid. Craig Dollansky, you heard about his woes tonight. He's in row 5 with John Bankston, Daniel Hood, and Jason Solwald. J.R. Patton and Donnie Gaten in row 7, and Nick Bellino and Sean Sander back in row 8. Dietrich Kers and Kayleen Verville, the female driver, in row 10.
So you're blaming that on the government, huh, Steve?
I am blaming that on the government. I am. And if you're, what president of what, Doty? What are they running? A president of?
That's the big question, isn't it? President of what?
You know, there's some cars out here in this C main that, no offense to any particular driver, but maybe should have training wheels on them. This could be a very interesting C main.
Well, you're right in a way, Steve. That's why usually it's the C main. It's the inexperienced guys and not a lot of laps.
Sure, it's the AA baseball.
C main, 10 laps, 2 drivers going to the B. Coming to the green flag. We're underway. Sliding their way through turn 1. Everybody makes it through safely.
It's a miracle.
Well, on a track like this, especially, Steve, with the inexperience, the slick racetrack, sliding all over the place, there's the Dollansky there on the outside coming out of 4.
Yeah, and he's flying, Brad. He is really hooked up. Dollansky.
Look at this. Going for 3rd out of turn 2.
Started 10th.
Or 2nd, I'm sorry.
Already up to 2nd.
Well, he was the class of this field.
Yeah, and he
shouldn't be here.
He was probably watching Stevie Smith there in that heat race, too, and knew the top was there.
Oh, looked like he got right to the wall.
Again, you know, starting that far back, you have nothing to lose. But to go for it up there, let everybody slip and slide around the bottom, and
yellow flag is out. And down in turn number 4, we've got
48.
the 48 car sitting sideways. That's Sean Sander. Came all the way to race here with us tonight. Sander is competing in a couple of Outlaw events this year, running at Dallas and Tulsa. Sander in that 48 car comes from El Paso, Texas.
See the bar there over his left shoulder? That's the deal at Stevie Smith Sr., and they started that for safety reasons.
The bar that comes down at the angle.
Yep. Now that's even more extreme than Stevie Smith's car. That even comes farther forward. What that does, if a guy climbs up over the left rear tire, a lot of times it would shoot the car right into the cockpit.
All right, let me ask you a question, Brad. From the angle there, the way that bar comes down and the way the side panel comes back, it protects you, but it looks like it might make it a little difficult for him to get out of the car in an emergency situation if he needed to.
In an emergency situation, you will get out of the car like you've been greased up.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say, Steve. If you have to, you'll find a way out of that thing in a hurry. I mean, it usually happens that they can get out okay.
Fire especially.
Yeah.
Good enough for me. Well, Tim Kading in that 35W is really turning out to be a very strong race car driver, isn't he, Bobby?
He really is, Ralph. I've had a chance to see Tim out in action in California quite a few times this year. As a matter of fact, he was the champion at Silver Dollar Speedway in Chico, a track that you know very well, Ralph, very close to where you went to school and grew up in Northern California. But Tim is really making a name for himself. He picked off quite a few feature wins and the championship at Chico, and was also a multiple feature winner this year at the San Jose Speedway, switching between a 360 powered car at San Jose and the 410 at Chico. A lot of people who have seen Tim Kading race really think that he is one of the future stars of the sport, really not getting a chance to flex his muscles too much here tonight because he's been ill all day. He's been fighting a cold. He has a fever. He said he really didn't even feel like racing, but he's out here trying to tough it out tonight. And so we'll see if Tim can make some more forward progress here in the C-Main.
He also picked up a 360 win up at Skagit, Washington, and anytime you can win at places like Skagit, Chico, San Jose, man, doing all right.
And he's another young guy, I mean, that's really showing some talent. And we saw him there kind of jerk the car a little bit and buzz the tires. He's just feeling the race car a little bit, trying to put a little heat back in those tires. There wasn't anything wrong when he made that severe move or anything like that, just trying to warm those tires up.
When you get on some of those little bull rings, Santa Maria comes to mind. That will teach you how to race.
You betcha.
In close quarters.
Well,
that's real man stuff.
Yeah, you're in traffic from the first or second lap. You're in lap traffic, and you really have to learn to race.
And when you got Howard and Brent Kading as relatives, you learn to race whether you're on bull rings or not. Those guys are some of the best ever to come out of California. Okay, here we go. Set to go racing with the restart of the C feature. 2 drivers looking to go to the B.
We haven't said much about that cone tonight, Ralph.
No, not yet. The cone is where they start. You don't go past anybody, so you go past the cone. Well, I thought Craig Dollansky was really going to come flying around the outside of Travis Whitney, but not so. Travis Whitney, who holds the lead, started on row 2, and he still holds the lead.
Well, that's one of those deals right there, Ralph, where the cone used to be on the back straightaway. Had it been on the back straightaway and they got up to speed, Dollansky probably could have got a run on him off of turn 3 and 4 and got by. But 1 and 2, there was nothing up there, and he fell back a little bit. So now he's trying to get it all back.
We got a flipper out of turn number 2. The red comes out right away. Coelho, it looks like, in the 6th name of Sparky Howard. Sparky Howard in the 6th car. Sparky Howard, who spends a lot of time running on the NARC series out of California. Sparky goes tumbling down the back straightaway. Comes out of Santa Rosa, California. You can see Sparky moving around in the car.
Wing did its job, Brad Doty. Absorbed a lot of the shot.
Sure does. Yep.
Sparky had a pretty good run in the fog burner race at Watsonville Speedway. With
the what?
The fog burner.
The fog burner.
Yeah, it's right on the coast, Watsonville Speedway on the coast of California. Near Monterey. Fog burner, Evans.
Yeah, I never heard of that.
Figured you would have been there.
Well, we got the Moonlight Nationals here tonight. It is beautiful. We'll be right back.
here's a warm reminder that at Red Lobster, the season isn't over.
If you're like most people, your monthly bills outweigh your paycheck. But if you own your own home, First Plus can help tip the scales back in your favor. It's the First Plus solution, one unique home loan that lets you refinance and consolidate your bills, credit cards, and mortgage all into one payment that's less than what you're paying now. And it's available even if you don't have equity. Put some balance back into your budget with the First Plus solution. Call First Plus at 1-800-510-PLUS.
Don't miss your only chance to see the dramatic conclusion of the rain-delayed Matco Tools Super Nationals. It's a special hour-long NHRA Today, Sunday at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific on TNN Motorsports.
Give it to me. No. Give it to me. It's mine. No, it's not. Give it to me. It's mine. No, it's not. It's mine. No, it's not. She gave it to you and me. Mom!
Between you and me. With CMT's request line, you hear what you want to hear and see what you want to see. It's 2 hours of the week's most requested videos. See the music you want to hear on Request Line. Mondays at 7 Eastern, only on Genuine CMT.
Yep, here it is. I'm afraid we got a little problem.
What now?
May cost a bit more than what I said earlier. Not sure if we have that part in stock. We got to call the warehouse, and finding the part's going to be near impossible. The fact is, it may cost.
With CMT's Big Ticket, you hear what you want to hear and see what you want to see. It's your front row seat to today's biggest country stars. See the music you want to hear on Big Ticket. Every night at 9 Eastern, only on Genuine CMT.
Welcome back to TNN Motorsports coverage of the Channellock Fall Classic here on Motor Madness. We're coming to you from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. A C feature under a red flag situation as we had one car, Sparky Howard, flip in turn 2. Sparky is okay. Mandatory red flag comes out, and Bobby Gerald has already caught up with him.
Yes, I have, and he's managed to muster a smile here despite tipping over. Sparky, you're obviously all right. What happened?
We were set for the bottom, and I was trying to do the best I could on that, and I just got too low, climbed the inside berm, and it just acted like a dune buggy and got upside down, and we were committed to the bottom. That's about, about it, I guess. I'd like to say thanks to Ed from Off-Road Performance, Popola's Off-Road Performance, that is, Bush Cameron Trucking, and Redline Oil. Thanks a lot for a great season. Hopefully next year we'll do some good stuff.
Number 6 is going into the trailer, guys.
All right, Bobby. Thanks. Good to see that he's okay. Well, there's always new developments in sprint car racing. Steve Evans earlier today had the opportunity to take a look at one of the latest.
From a safety standpoint, the high-pressure fuel pump on an Outlaw Sprinter is located in the worst possible place, on the back side of the motor, driven by the camshaft right between the driver's feet. If there's a failure of a line or damage in an accident, the driver gets sprayed with methanol, and that's not good for pretty obvious reasons. Now, next year, though, on Joe Garrity's car and many others, that fuel pump won't be there. There'll be a simple cable drive. Follow that cable back to the tank, and, well, you'll find the fuel pump at a new location, thanks to Sid Waterman, who builds fuel systems for all kinds of different race cars. The pump's going to be inside the tank.
Yes, that's absolutely right, Steve. What we're going to do is we're going to replace the existing flat plate, and the fuel pump will slide in from this direction. It will be driven from the cable, from where the existing fuel pump is now off the camshaft. Now, all your fuel lines, instead of being the driver's compartment, will be inside the tank with only 2 small lines going to the motor.
And there's some advantages besides safety.
Oh, certainly is. One of the main ones is the fact that now the fuel pump is the same temperature as the fuel at all times, no matter where you are. Before, if it was mounted on the power steering unit or if it was mounted on the oil pump, it would get the same temperature. A lot of times cars have had problems, you notice, after a red flag restarting. The problem is the pump has sat on the engine so long, it got way too hot and it will not draw the fuel properly.
Good job.
Thanks.
Don't be surprised if this is not mandatory within a year or so in all sprint car associations. Great idea from Sid Waterman.
Boy, is it ever, and if there ever is a guy that has come up with some innovative things for the world of motorsports, whether it's going around in circles or in a straight line, Sid Waterman is one of the best.
Pretty good businessman, too. I got to thinking there's about 8,000 sprint cars in this country at $500 a pop.
Not bad.
That's pretty good cash flow.
You're right, Steve. I talked to him about that. You know, he's big in drag racing, and like he said, his market was limited. he didn't realize how big the sprint car market was till he got into it. He's very happy he did.
Well, one of the great things about racing here in Las Vegas is the people that drop by to say hi. And joining us now in the booth is the driver of the Pennzoil Yellow Freight Ford in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. He's currently 5th in the points, only 13 out of 4th, Tony Raines. 3 victories under your belt, maybe one this weekend in Las Vegas. What do you think?
That'd be really awesome. You know, this is the biggest paying race of the year, and out here with Pennzoil, obviously they sponsored the series, and they were kind enough to invite me up here, and I'm breaking into a sweat watching you guys work. I can't keep up with you guys. I got the easy job out there on the racetrack. This is pretty crazy.
Okay, now you've won on some pretty different racetracks this year. I know your background was short track racing with ASA. You won at I-70 in Louisville, Kentucky, so that didn't surprise me. But then you get a win on a real big track earlier this year in Texas. Is that the one that's going to really carry you into this weekend in Las Vegas?
Well, I think that we obviously learned a lot. We ran really well there last year in the Dodge even, and we ran obviously good this year. We struggled a little at Fontana, but we kind of shot ourselves in the foot. Hopefully we learned from that, and I hope that we run really strong out here. Jay's only 12 points in front of us. We get 4th place. It's worth a little bit of money at that banquet.
Now, you and Jay have raced against each other for years through ASA and so forth. Has he got an Achilles heel? Where are you going to get him?
I don't know. He's starting to annoy me, though. You know, I mean, we've been back and forth all summer, but he's a heck of a racer, and they got a good team, and they ran really well here last year, so we're going to have to work really hard to get that spot, and I know they're going to do the same.
Has Hodenshield said anything about allowing you to slide in behind the wheel of that Pennzoil sprint car?
I stopped by there early and introduced myself, and he said, I've been watching. I said, well, I'm going to watch you now. I've watched these guys a few times on TVs, but to watch this in person, they're a lot braver than I am, I can tell you that.
Tony, what do you think about racing a truck?
That'd be awesome, too, but, you know, I have to admit, I'm partial to the sprint cars.
You need a wing, don't you?
I like the wing sprint cars.
Yeah, I could use a wing on my truck, too, believe me.
I bet you could. Tony Raines, driver of the Pennzoil Yellow Freight Ford on the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Tony, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. I know you got a lot of folks to visit next door. Get back to the food. I know we hated to drag you away from that. It's tough.
Well, I'll take care of that part for you, but I appreciate you guys having me over here, and looking forward to enjoying this race.
We'll work on getting you that wing, too.
I hope so. I'll vote for it.
Try the shrimp if there's any left.
There you go.
So it'll be green next time by. The lights are out on the pace truck.
We might want to point out, Ralph, that this is SEMA week in Las Vegas. The Special Equipment Marketing Association has their giant convention. And back in turn number 2, just where the pace car is coming right now, you'll see a monster grandstand. There's about 60 buses over there. All the fine people coming out from the SEMA show. And the biggest names in the performance industry are in that grandstand.
I'll tell you what, it can be one of the most expensive weeks, too. You go walking through the SEMA show, and you can see all your money going right out the window and all that chrome, can't you? I know I can. Okay, here we go. Whitney and Dollansky, they've been battling it out for the win. Who's going to get it to the green flag? This one's scheduled for 10 laps, 4 of them completed as we get back to the racing action.
And Whitney did what he had to do. He went to the bottom of 1 and 2 and protected it.
It's Whitney, Dollansky, Bonini, Carter, and Coelho, the top 5.
There's the leader. There goes Dollansky.
Dollansky's going to stay up high this whole lap, it looks like.
We're watching a battle a little bit deeper in the pack here. This is 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, all going out of Tim Kading in there in the 35W. Back up to the leaders.
Yep. Boy, what's going on there? That it's so far around that top. I mean, it's such a big racetrack when you're up there that if Whitney does mess up real bad on the bottom, Dollansky's going to have a tough time getting around.
You can carry a lot of speed running up high, but if a guy down low is hooked, you can't make up the difference in the distance.
There he goes.
Whoa, look at that.
You know, the amazing thing about Dollansky is he takes the lead. He's run 76 World of Outlaw races this year, but he's done them in 5 different cars.
Yeah, and that's not what a driver likes on his stats either. I mean, that's you got to have the consistency. Stay with one team, one car.
The most were 35 starts for Gary Stanton in the Mopar that Paul McMahon's driving tonight. Whitney, on the other hand, he's thinking about maybe running for the World of Outlaw Rookie of the Year title next year.
Disney goes back by. Now, again, it's so far around up there, but you carry so much more speed, and that can get you off the corner quicker.
Interesting. Both drivers committed to that line, though. They're not buried.
Here he comes, right back at him. Dollansky in the Polydome number 7. This is his own car, one that Craig owns personally, with 2 to go.
I'm a little surprised that Craig, once he gets back by the lead, doesn't go to the bottom in 1 and 2, because Travis Whitney just keeps passing him.
He might not have a choice anymore with traffic in front of him.
Now he's got him. Now he's got a nice cushion there.
Well, the 86 car really held up Whitney. J.R. Patton really held up Whitney, and that's going to make the difference here. Dollansky, with 1 lap to go, gets around as the lapper gets in the way, and Whitney's going to have to settle for second.
But as that lapper got in Whitney's way, Dollansky about got in the wall trying to go. And
he did hit it there. Checkered flag falls as Craig Dollansky comes back to win this one. He started all the way back in row number 5 in 9th position, and he wins the C. He's going to be featured, and he'll take Travis Whitney along to the beautiful Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and we'll have our winner right with us when we do.
It knows 2 speeds. Stop. Speed of the top truck. Some work, and it's brand new. Go ahead. Yes. You have 4.3 seconds. Your base. Stop. Go. Pendle.
Team Mopar. Parts for sprint cars and your vehicle. Get real. Get Mopar. Your vehicle. Get real. Get Mopar.
Dennis looks left and rolls right. It's a pass to Broadway. Touchdown!
I'm going to call Pete.
Hey, make sure you dial 10-10-321 first.
Why?
Because it saves me moolah.
Really?
Yeah, and it's half price for all calls over 20 minutes.
Half price? That's a lot. What about monthly fees?
No fees, no hidden charges. Here, look how low my phone bill is.
Wow, 10-10-321 does save a lot.
Don't bother calling.
Why not?
You just lost.
Dial 10-10-321.
Hungry for a deal that's long on taste? Drive in for Sonic's Coney and Tots Special. An extra long cheese coney topped with chili and cheese, plus regular tater tots, all at a special low price. So break away from the ordinary and drive into Sonic for a change.
Nestle Flips. They're completely irresistible.
Ooh, I think I'll have one more. Right after this one.
Rolled gold pretzels and Nestle milk chocolate.
I'd share, but why?
Nestle Flips. What's your excuse?
Totally nice and nasty. Okay. TNN Motorsports. Pennzoil World of Outlaws getting set for the B main.
We've been called a lot of things, but that's a first.
Bobby Gerald is caught up with Craig Dollansky.
Actually, Ralph, I'm with Andy Hillenberg, but that's okay because Andy's starting on the pole of the B main, looking to qualify for his 457th straight World of Outlaws feature event. Andy, you've got a great starting spot right up there on the front row. What do you think of your chances here in the B main?
I don't know. I hope they're pretty good. We had a real good car in the heat race earlier. I just messed up a couple times, and we ended up missing it out of the heat race. So the car was working real well, and just see if we can get up through there and win the B and then make it through there in the A.
A new sponsor on the side of the wing, Luxair. We see it here tonight at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and understand we're going to see it a lot more next year.
Yeah, we're going to see Luxair. We're really happy to have them with us. They're not new to motorsports by any mean, and they're going to venture into the World of Outlaw sprint cars, so we're real happy to have them with us.
And they couldn't be sponsoring a nicer guy or a better ambassador for the sport of sprint car racing than Andy Hillenberg.
Well, you know, Bobby, I had the opportunity to spend some time last night here with Ted Altmeyer, who's the communications director of Luxair, and they're very, very excited about getting into the Pennzoil World of Outlaws. You know, Luxair has been involved with Glenn Allen Jr. in the Busch Grand National Series and NASCAR racing for the last few years, and that's been a very successful program for them, and they're not looking to necessarily get out of that. They're looking to add to their racing program. And they looked at everything that was out there, and they felt that the next best thing that's really growing in the world of motorsports is the Pennzoil World of Outlaws. And they said, you know, we got to jump on board with this thing. They're going to be what is called a major associate with Andy Hillenberg next year. And then in the year 2000, they're planning on potentially becoming a major sponsor, whether it's with Andy or somebody else.
It is a huge bang to your corporate buck. especially if you're a national company or have national distribution, because it races coast to coast, border to border, 60-some-odd times. You've got the haulers going down the highway in every direction with you. I mean, it is huge.
I'm so proud of what the World of Outlaws have done and where they're going.
You've helped.
It helps tap into a lot of different markets that some of the other divisions in the world of motorsports don't necessarily get to. Not everybody goes racing in Knoxville, Iowa. To Dave Reed.
I'm down with Craig Dollansky. Guys, you suggested that perhaps Craig Dollansky was running the top because he saw Stevie Smith do it. Well, that could possibly be the case. They came out of the same heat race. You got a great fight up there, didn't you?
Yeah, we're getting the car coming around. The track's real slick, and you know, we got a great grinder engine in this car, and this track is really slick, and we're not able to use it right now. But we started backing that C main quite a ways, and we started in the back of the B main, so we're just gonna have to work at getting this polydome car up front, and you know, Dick Johannick and Howie Gleason, I can't thank them enough. And
looked like you possibly got up there and kissed the wall a couple times. Did you, in fact?
Yeah, I did, and it'll be some good racing.
B main coming up just a little bit. Craig Dollansky will tag the tail.
You know, Las Vegas is a very exciting city, but all of us here at TNM Motorsports racing tonight with a heavy heart. Gary Lee Meyer, one of the best ever to strap into a sprint car out of Dodge City, Kansas, lost his father, Lee Myers, this past Friday. All of us here at TNM Motorsports send our sympathies to the Meyer family.
If these windows could talk, they wouldn't tell you how Fleetwood craftsmen build each home by hand, but about favorite family dinners. And they might not mention our solid steel frames, but they tell you about pillow fights and pajamas. Because at Fleetwood, we know the quality that counts most in a home is the quality of life inside. Fleetwood Homes, quality for life. Call 1-800-350-2300 for a Fleetwood Homes retailer near you.
To a close. Here's a warm reminder that at Red Lobster, the season isn't over.
These days, seems like everybody's got a Cherokee or an Explorer. Me, I like to stand out a bit. That's why I drive a Subaru Outback. With a big cargo bay and all-wheel drive, you get all the sport utility you need. But with the smooth ride and better gas mileage, the Outback is far from ordinary. Like me, really. What a weird-looking bunch that was.
Hey, Parquet. What's the word? Better. Better? Aren't you supposed to say better? Better. Butter. Better. Look at how you melt. Just like butter. Mmm, you really do taste better. Butter.
Parquet. The flavor says
butter.
Dad, you're not going to use those, are you?
But you told me to use Bacos.
That was so yesterday.
Now there's new Bacos with better bacon taste and still no saturated fat.
You got to keep up, Dad.
With better bacon taste, new Bacos makes every bite better.
Welcome back to TNN Motorsports coverage of the Pennzoil World of Outlaws from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The Channellock Fall Classic. It's the season finale as we get set to crown a champion. And the crowd enjoying a good night of racing here in Las Vegas. Well, Bobby Gerald caught up with the guy who's now crowned our Rookie of the Year for '98.
The 1998 Manufacturer's Rookie of the Year for the World of Outlaws is Dale Blaney, and it came down to the last few races, a good fight between Dale and Tyler Walker. But Dale, you were able to pull it off, and $15,000 bonus. That's all right, huh?
Yeah, it's a pretty good deal. I'm not sure how much it's paid in the past, but there's a lot of great people, you know, behind the award, and I'm real thankful for it.
When you look back on your rookie season with the World of Outlaws, and I know you've had some problems with that because you're 34 years old and you've been doing this for a long time, but it's the first time that you've chased this series all the way through a season. When you look back on it, what do you think you'll remember about the 1998 campaign?
Well, it was a lot. It was a really learning year for me. You know, I've run with these guys off and on a lot, but to run with them night in, night out, you know, I definitely learned that the mistakes you make on a racetrack, they really take advantage of them. So that's probably the main thing I've learned, just to cut down on your mistakes as driving, and you'll get a little better.
Tyler Walker was your main competition all year for the Rookie of the Year title, and he's had some success here recently. You, of course, got the big one, which was not sanctioned by the World of Outlaws. But how do you see you two progressing through the years in the World of Outlaws ranks?
Well, hopefully winning a few races. I know, he's young and he's got a lot of years ahead of him left, to race out here, and he showed this year he can definitely win some races. So, I haven't won a World of Outlaws race yet, so that's my first step and first goal for next year if we don't get it done tonight. So, I see myself racing out here as long as I can and doing the best job I can for Amoco and everybody involved.
Congratulations, Dale.
Thank you.
Tim Green was the first ever Rookie of the Year in '79. Donnie Schatz was the latest in 1997. Other names, Stevie Smith, Andy Hillenberg. In '84, 2 drivers tied for it, Mark Kinser and Greg Woolley. And in 1982, some guy named Brad Doty.
Yeah, but it didn't pay $15,000 back then.
No, it didn't. How about this, a street legal sprint car? What do you think of it? It's perfect for you.
That is really cool.
What a great ride. I'd love to commute to work in that, huh? We'll be right back to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the B.
Horses are very special animals. They become our very close friends. We love them, we respect them, and above all, we take good care of them. And that's why we go to Tractor Supply for all of our horses' needs. The new equine section has everything you need, from tack, feed, and your vet supplies. So Tractor Supply, whether you've got one horse or a whole herd.
Hungry for a deal that's long on taste? Drive in for Sonic's Coney and Tots Special. An extra long cheese coney topped with chili and cheese, plus regular tater tots, all at a special low price. So break away from the ordinary and drive into Sonic for a change.
Woo, doggy. Ain't it about time to change that Glade plug-in refill, ma'am?
Don't forget, refill your Glade plug-ins.
Plug it in, plug it in.
Promotional consideration provided for and a fee paid by this special offer from Diamond D.
And they walked away 5. The most intense racing action on asphalt, dirt, and water. It's non-stop excitement to thrill the entire family. And they walked away 5 puts you in the driver's seat for the high-speed thrills of NHRA, monster trucks, NASCAR, boats, and more. Call 1-800-507-1800 now, and you'll receive Top Fuel Sensations absolutely free. Experience the exciting sights, sounds, and smells of America's fastest sport. Over 2 hours of exciting racing action for only $19.95. Call 1-800-507-1800 now.
We're back to the B feature. Here at the Channellock Fall Classic, coming to you on TNM Motorsports. It's Motor Madness, the season finale. Coming all the way from Sydney, Australia is Peter Murphy. He was our quick qualifier tonight in that 0 car. Now, Peter is a lover of music. He knows how to take an exhaust pipe off of one of these sprint cars and make it sound like a didgeridoo, which is an Aboriginal music instrument. I'm telling you, the guy is telling you. So many, uses for those headers. Here's your lineup. True story, I'm not kidding about this. For the B, Andy Hillenberg, Brian Paulus, Darren Pittman, and the Aboriginal musical instrument playing Peter Murphy. Kurt Winker, Brian Coelho, Casey Kane, Calvin Landon, Shane Scott, PJ Chesson, Wilbert. He's going to be the tire changer for Rusty Wallace, Jason Myers, Robertson Oswald, the other Chesson, and Paul McMahon in the Mopar in row 8. Schaefer, Hannigan, Howard, and Whitney are round out the field as we get set to go green.
And these 2 Chesson boys, an incredible story. They're 17 and 19, I believe. Had never sat in a sprint car until June of this year, and the best-looking rig in the pits.
And we're green. 12 laps, 4 qualify, 2 will get their time back, 2 tag the 10.
Man, did you see that? Cars just sliding all over the place, trying to find a line down that front straightaway.
And getting the best shot at it is Andy Hillenberg upstairs.
No, Pittman got back around.
He did. Darren Pittman in the 21 up front car coming at you.
What Hillenberg's concerned with right now is just getting into the A. He's not going to take any chances. He's going to try to get the lead. He does right now, but he's going to give everybody a little arm's length.
Yeah, you don't want to do anything. We've talked about it before. Don't want to do anything crazy, look at all these cars coming out of turn 2 here.
What a pack. Flying down that back straightaway. Oh, squirrely. Chesson upstairs in the 76 car. Here comes McMahon in the Mopar right through the middle. Oh, right to the wall is Chesson. Down on the bottom is the 11 car. That machine, of course,
Tim Schaefer started clearing the back of this thing. He's moving up through. Yeah, Cheston's figuring out how to use that wall for side right there.
We asked them why they selected sprint cars to race instead of something else, and they said, oh, because they look cool.
Dollansky slide through the field. He started dead last in this one. He's working his way up through the field.
That's out of turn 2.
He worked that upstairs line in the last one. Brad is working for him again.
Yeah, that's trying to, again, right up there, right up on the wall, going around Tim Schaefer.
Dollansky had a 5th at Joliet earlier this year. That's his best finish on the Outlaw Trail in '98.
That's for 13th, a long way to go to get to the top 4.
Schaefer on the bottom of the Vibrant car. There's Chesson in the 76. Billy Pouch used to drive for their dad, and 76 was the family number, and that's why this Chesson runs the 76. The other one runs 22C because Todd was his hero.
It's the older of the two Chessons, all of 19.
Yeah.
But Dollansky runs his own number 7 and doing a pretty darn good job of it as he works around the 16 of Bill Robertson. Dollansky currently 13.
Don't want to jinx it. Oh, we got a spin coming out of...
Yep, the 23 going around on the front straightaway. That's Casey Kane. That'll bring out the yellow.
Did you catch me say I don't want to jinx before this? But I was getting ready to say Dollansky needed a yellow to tighten his field back up.
Hillenberg still leads Murphy, Pittman, Paulus, and Myers. But 4 of them will go to the A main. So right now, Myers is 1 spot out of it. Brian Paulus sitting in a pretty good spot. Bobby Jackson, the competition director for the Pennzoil World of Outlaws. Man walking just to the right of your screen, checking out things. There he goes running across.
And what a job these World of Outlaws officials do. We talk about all of the travel that the racers do. Well, the officials are doing exactly the same thing, keeping the same late hours, eating the same Denny's and Waffle Houses, because that's the only thing open. Not a lot of difference.
Yeah, but to defend the racers, they don't have to go to the car wash after races and fix bent parts and get the car ready for the next race.
To Bobby Jarrell.
And guys, in preparation for tonight's A main, we're down here in the pit area joined by Jeff Swindell. They're doing something that you don't often see at a World of Outlaws sprint car race, and that is grinding down a tire. Jeff, what's going on here?
Well, actually, this is the same compound tire that we run last year that we won here from the back. It's the 17. They don't make any more of them, so they were getting real old, and they were getting real crusty. We run out of them, and Paul McMahon had 2 extra ones, so we bought one from him. He said if he was having a little trouble tonight, he'd give us one of them, so we got one of them from him. But the top is kind of capped over on them a little bit. We've had problems with that with the last few we had this year before we ran out. So we took the grinder out. They're knocking the top edge off, so you can see the difference in the shiny part and the dark part where he's already ground it. They seal up if you leave them shiny, so we're knocking that crust off the top of them, you know, so it gives it a little bit better bite. Hopefully, this is going to work. We got a long way to go.
Kind of like scrubbing in a tire before a race. So Jeff Swindell going with that magic 17 tire that has led him to a couple of wins here in the past at Las Vegas.
Brad, how close do you have to shave that?
They're just knocking a little thin layer off the top of it. Like,
can you go too far?
Well, it'd take a lot. I mean, he'd have to really mess up to go too far to blow the tire out or something. But Jeff has run this tire before. He's also got a good chassis set up to go along with that tire.
You ever heard anybody from the South talk as fast as Jeff Swindell?
No, I have.
One-word answer. Thank you, Ralph.
To Danny Lasowski with Dave Reed.
And Ralph, as you know, he could be one of those guys that could talk a little quicker than Jeff Swindell if he was all wound up, and we'll find out how he is right now. Danny, awful good in your heat race. You came from 8th to 5th in the dash, so you've got this track figured out.
Yeah, we got our Eagle going pretty good right now. Bob Westall built a good motor we put in for tonight. Our last night's motor had a little trouble, and we're looking forward to it. We just hope we can get from 5th to the 1st. We really need the points.
A lot of drivers standing in the corner right now taking a peek out at the racetrack. Tell me about some of the things you're looking at in the B main.
Well, right now we're looking at exactly how hard a tire it's going to take. We don't know if it's going to take rubber. I think it's a little too cold to take rubber, and right now we're just seeing all the different lines. Right now there's a top and a bottom. We just got to go where they're not.
Get back up on that car and take it. We're about ready to go green.
Lasowski's wife, Chris, wants the BMW Z3, right? So she's at the Monte Carlo, where everybody's staying, trying to win one. She's feeding singles into the machine. We shamed Lasowski after winning $100,000 in Knoxville. We shamed him into sliding her a 20.
Oh, he didn't fire the BMW.
No, he wouldn't. I'm telling you.
Well, Lasowski is trying to pass Stevie Smith for 4th place in the points, and this is the last night you can do that. The banquet's tomorrow night at the Monte Carlo. Steve Kinser will collect almost $200,000.
We're going green.
Along with the money, just the pride, just to move up a spot and get every position you can.
Hillenberg up top. Those McCrurys working pretty good.
Trying to keep that streak alive of 456 Woo-A-Mains. That's unbelievable.
Big win for Hillenburg earlier this year on the Springfield Mile. And, of course, picking up the U.S. Dirt Nationals.
Peter Murphy running that Scott Gherkin Randy Kinser built motor. He had quick time on the mile, and oh boy, look at that's what the wing does. See, when he got the car sideways, the air went up over the top wing, buries the left rear of the car, and oh, we got a yellow.
That one around.
Boy, that isn't what Peter Murphy needs, because he had a great shot off of 4, had a big lead. Now he'll have to go back behind Hillenburg, I believe.
Yep. You're going to Australia to enjoy some sprint car racing, huh, over the winter?
In January, there's a good possibility I'm going down, and I can't wait.
You will love it.
That's Billy Wilburn, the tire changer for Rusty Wallace, who is spun around in the Meade Mobile #1 car. He's got to hustle back after this one to get to Atlanta. Now watch, there's Billy on the bottom.
Looks like he might have got in just a little deep. Nobody behind him close enough to tap him. Looks like he just... The biggest problem Billy has is he doesn't race enough. You know, he's full-time with Rusty's crew, and to race a sprint car and be real successful, you just have to live it and breathe it and race all the time, and that is his goal.
But it shows you his dedication after a full-time career on the NASCAR Tour. He still finds time to hustle out to run a sprint car. Way to go, Billy. We'll be right back.
Cat's Pride is rolling out a new family of cat litters that will keep your cat box cleaner than ever. Introducing new Dust Stopper. Dust Stopper performs like regular clay litters, but because it's made from 100% recycled paper, it's dust-free. So there's no mess, no sneezing, no dust at all. And it's super absorbent for maximum odor control. New Dust Stopper paper litter. It's like toilet paper for your cat. Only from Cat's Pride.
Betty Crocker knows how to make 'em flip. Lighter, fluffier Bisquick pancakes. Because when it comes to great pancakes, Betty knows best.
Step into a clean shower every day without cleaning your shower again. Try Tile Express Shower. After your shower, spray a light mist. Don't scrub or rinse. Try Tile Express Shower, and you'll never have to clean your shower again.
Next Friday night, the Rooster Tails are gonna fly. The Buggies are back. See what transpires in the muck and the mire at the Swamp Buggy Classic 2. Next Friday night at 8 Eastern on TNN Motor Madness.
I'll always remember the fun I had owning my first guitar. Well, now you can have fun, too, with my Roy Clark signature guitar. This guitar can be yours for just 3 payments of $26.95, and there's more. You can learn to play in minutes with my Big Note songbook. You'll also get this poster that shows you all the chords and melodies and these peel-off stickers that you put right on the guitar. Just put your fingers on the same color stickers and hey, you're making music. Michael row the boat ashore, hallelujah. Over 70 country rock and pop songs that you'll be playing in no time. Call now to get my Roy Clark signature guitar, a deluxe carrying case, tuner, picks, the chord poster, and stickers, and of course my Big Note songbook. Everything for just 3 payments of $26.95.
Use your credit card and call 1-800-225-9500. You get everything for only 3 payments of $26.95 plus $9.95 shipping. A fantastic value you will not find anywhere else, so call now.
Pennzoil World of Outlaws in action once again on TNN Motor Madness. TNN Motorsports bringing you the Channellock Fall Classic from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Wow, there he is, Eli Gold on the left, David Hall, the head man from CBS Cable and TNN Motorsports on the right, and in the middle, a gentleman who's going to try something very creative with the Pennzoil World of Outlaws. That's Bill Kentling, the president of the beautiful Heartland Park, Topeka, Kansas racetrack. We're going to bring the Pennzoil World of Outlaws to that fabulous drag strip. We're going to cover the quarter mile up with dirt.
It's unbelievable.
And we're going to go racing with the Pennzoil World of Outlaws. And guess what else? TNN's going to be there to show it to you live on TNN Motorsport.
Never thought I'd see the World of Outlaws on a drag strip.
Well, Bill Kentling is a real innovator, and he's been watching the World of Outlaws, and he said, you know what? That is a good show. We need that at Topeka.
Lanny Edwards from Devil's Bowl in Dallas has also been instrumental in that idea, and he's the one that's going to build the racetrack. Well, they'd have to understand they've got these beautiful grandstands, beautiful towers, beautiful restrooms, concession stands, and now you can put this sprint car track right in the middle of all of that.
And we're green with the B-Main.
Let me finish that, Steve. Lanny Edwards is the one that in Emmett Hahn have the Chili Bowl, and they build a racetrack, haul the dirt in every year, so they know what they're doing.
Yep.
Down the back straightaway goes Andy Hillenburg. Murphy and the rest trying to catch him.
Keep that streak alive, Andy. Oh.
That's incredible hit streak. I mean, that is it. Oh, look at this. Murphy's got a shot.
Off the bottom, here he comes. Out of Sydney, Australia, Peter Murphy. Look at Dollansky. He's still fighting his way up through this. He just smacked the wall. He's currently into 6th after starting at the back end of this one.
Boy, and he's closing in on them, too. Now, remember, the top 2 get their time back. But look at this. There he goes around Pittman.
Travis Whitney now, by the way, Brad. He started back at the back with Dollansky, and he's currently running up in 3rd. Here comes Dollansky working Darren Pittman. And Randy Hannigan joins this fight. Hannigan just hustled to the racetrack tonight after a horrible crash.
He crashed last night. They were late getting here building a race car, and he's got that Sid Waterman fuel pump on board that race car. The only one to have it right now.
Only one in the country. That's right, Randy Hannigan.
White flag is out. To the line, Whitney with the lead. Can he win this from the dead last spot? Hillenberg up top.
Murphy, Peter Murphy still leading it. Way out front. That's for 2nd right there. There's Peter Murphy. He finished 3rd at Houston in a World of Outlaw race, the highest finishing Australian in a World of Outlaw race ever.
Murphy wins. Whitney takes 2nd. Hillenberg gets 3rd, and 4th will go to Pittman. Those 4 drivers will all go on to the A main. And Craig Dollansky, who came from the last row, will finish 5th, 1 spot out of it. Hannigan will come home in 6th.
And Hillenberg will not get his time back because he wasn't 1st or 2nd, so it should be fun to watch that. Number 2 car for Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, try to come way, way back and through the field.
But as you said, he keeps that streak alive, too, of A mains. But I'll guarantee you, everybody in the pits is going to be down there looking at Peter Murphy's tires. They're going to be checking that race car over to see what made him so fast.
To Bobby Gerald.
The man who will be starting 6th tonight in the feature event is Tyler Walker, the driver of car number 35. And since we last left you on TV in Nebraska, Tyler has already won 3 feature events, including a sweep at Manzanita Speedway. And you were the youngest driver, or the first series rookie, I should say, to sweep a World of Outlaws feature in the history of the series. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it makes me real proud. You know, I got to thank all my guys helping me out. Aircep, Ricky Warner, Richard Brown, and Barry Jackson. They're doing a great job. My dad, K&N Air Filters. I mean, I owe everything I have to the people that created this for me, and I'm just real excited. I mean, I got a perfect crew. They give me a great race car every night, and they just pretty much leave it up to me. And sometimes I screw up because I'm still a little bit new at this, but I'm learning a bunch, and I've learned a lot this year, and going to next year feeling a lot more confident about myself.
There were a lot of people, and I tell you what, Tyler, I know you need to get back and get after your race car, so good luck to you starting from the 6th spot in tonight's feature event. And let's send it over to Dave Reap, who's standing by with Donnie Schatz.
And Donnie Schatz has got some good news. He's starting 3rd in the A main, but that's not the best part about this whole thing. You got some good news for 1999. Tell me about it.
Yeah, we got a real good association with the new sponsor, Parker Store. You know, we're really hoping we can do a good job for them. I know they're taking a chance with me, so just hope we can do a good job for them in 98 and maybe go on to 99.
Well, tell me about how you're going to do just that tonight. You feel pretty good about your chances?
Yeah, I do. You know, we were really fast last night. I think we turned the fastest lap all night long, and I lost the race. I screwed up, and, you know, that's my own fault. But, you know, tonight we're sitting pretty good. We're not on the front row, but 3rd's in the bad starting spot. So we'll just see if we can get by the Kinsers and run away with this deal.
The final A main of the year. Can you guys believe it?
Number 65. They've run 64 of them so far this year, and the 65th one here will wrap up the season.
When Donnie said he screwed up, he clipped the infield berm last night, and that race car bounced up in the air, turned sideways, should have flipped, and, man, he gathered it back up and lost a position or 2, but didn't turn the race car over, and, boy, it was a great save.
The Pennzoil World of Outlaws getting set for their last race of 1998. Stay tuned to TNN Motorsports. We'll be right back to show it to you.
Diamonds, glittering, brilliant, sparkling diamonds are the way a man tells a woman he loves her. Don Williams, one of country music's greatest treasures, sings about a very special diamond in his new album, I Turn the Page, featuring the hit record Cracker Jack Diamond and 11 other precious gems.
Their hearts will stay forever young, like a Cracker Jack Diamond.
On giant CDs and cassettes, available at all Tower Records locations.
Marty
Marty's here. Okay, let's see a fuel injector for a Ford Probe.
Multiport?
It's too easy. How about a gasket for a Yugo?
With sealer?
EGR valve for 74 Gremlin.
See you tomorrow, Marty.
Right now, ProStart 75-month batteries from $39.99. Get the power you need. ProStart batteries starting at just $39.99.
Pep Boys. Cars like us.
People love us.
Hi, sweetie. Hello. Got your new litter. It's not Fresh Step, but it's on sale. How lucky is that? Oh, you like it, huh?
Cats know what they like in cat litter. Only Fresh Step combines borates and special absorbents for unbeatable ammonia control.
Okay, you win. Happy?
Hungry for a deal that's long on taste? Drive in for Sonic's Coney and Tots Special. An extra long cheese coney topped with chili and cheese, plus regular tater tots, all at a special low price. So break away from the ordinary and drive into Sonic for a change.
The battery dentists prefer. The official battery of badminton.
Instead of trash talk, how about some straight talk? Try Railback. If you don't think they're just as good, you get your money back. You can't lose. I like that.
We're back to TNN Motorsports coverage of the Pennzoil World of Outlaws on Motor Madness. All the souvenir rigs selling their wares. The last one for 98.
Jackets are big tonight. It's about 47 degrees outside. Las Vegas is really the high desert. The elevation about 1,700 to 2,000 feet. And as the cars push off, you'll notice all those lights. That is North Las Vegas.
There's a lot of new developments coming from 1999, and one of the hottest is what's going to happen with the Mopar team. Bobby Gerald spoke with Carl Kinser about the Mopar program.
Well, it had been talked about for a long time. The speculation was, even before the start of this season, that maybe Mark and Carl Kinser would be going with the Mopar racing team. Well, it's all come to fruition now. In 1999, it's official. Carl and Mark will have number 5 on the Mopar sprint car. Carl Kinser, what was behind this decision, and how did it start up? How did the negotiations begin?
Well, we talked last year about me running the car owner end of the Mopar team, and we got into vocabulary too late. And then this year we started to talk 3 months ago, and it all just came together. They wanted to know me better, and I wanted to see what they had, and so we're glad to be aboard.
Now, Gary Stanton has number 75 out here on the World of Outlaws Tour right now with Paul McMahon running the car. What will Stanton's involvement be in 1999 with your team?
He's doing the engine program through the Stanton Engine Shop, and he's got the engines really running good right now, and with the new parts they'll be running better, and so they say they're supposed to satisfy me.
All right. Now, Phil Durst and Ray Williams, a couple of associate sponsors that have been with you guys for an awful long time. Will they be involved next year as well?
Yes, they're involved at the same level, personal friends and a few bucks.
And Mark Kinser, of course, will be the driver. Now, this was talked about before the start of this season. What I'm wondering, and I think a lot of the sprint car fans are wondering, why didn't it happen before the start of this year? You said maybe the timing wasn't right, or you guys started talking late, but was there something that changed during this season that pushed it over the edge, that made you think, I want to do this?
Well, when we talked last year, they didn't have their lighter block, their lighter cylinder heads, and all the refined parts that I wanted, and I couldn't get them for this season. So that kind of broke the talks off, and then over the winter, they went and done all the high-tech things that I wanted on the engine and the cylinder heads. And so when they got that done, it was a lot more interesting for me, and it'll make it a lot more competitive. And I like to win races, and they do too.
Well, I know you do, and that brings us to something, because a lot of people, it doesn't matter what the sport is, the people who win consistently are always looking for new challenges. How much did that play a part in this? Because you've succeeded so much with the Chevrolet. How exciting will this be for you to start with something from the ground floor and build it up?
Well, I always like to challenge, so I think it's going to be a lot of hard work, and when you put a lot of work into something, the rewards are good if it's a success. So I'm definitely looking forward to this year.
Any predictions for 1999?
We'll be a winner.
A champion?
might be reality.
All right. Carl Kinser, optimistic. He'll have his son Mark driving in 1999, and we're looking forward to it.
Mark Kinser is now set to race the Workin 5M for the last time here tonight at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. You're very excited about this, just like your father is.
Yeah, we are. You know, Mopar, what a lot of people don't know. Last year, we went down to Gary Stanton's. We grabbed up one of his motor. We took our best motor. We dynoed him. We was a little bit surprised. The Mopar motor beat our Chevy motor in every aspect on the dyno. So we was excited last year. Some things happened and it didn't fall through. But next year we're going to be running Mopar, and Workin's going to be along with us.
Oh, and with Carl twisting the wrenches, that could be a deadly combination. Could be a deadly combination tonight. We've already seen a lot of dominance out of this car last night and in the dash.
Yeah, the car's working really strong. You know, we could move all over the track, come away with the victory here tonight, you know, and take all that momentum into next year with Mopar. Would be great.
He's the pole sitter. We wish him the best of luck tonight as we go over to Bobby Gerald, who's standing by with our B-main winner.
That's right, and as Mark Kinser starts inside the front row, Australia's Peter Murphy will start inside of row number 5 in the number 9 hole. And Peter, a great run there in the B-main. There were a lot of guys coming over here asking you what was your secret in the semi.
Yeah, it was a pretty good run. After we got quick time tonight, it was a little bit disappointing that we didn't make it through our heat, but I guess that made up for it a little bit there.
What has gotten into you here in the last few weeks? You went through the entire NARC season out there in California. You won one feature event. You get here with the Outlaws, and you've been going great guns. You had a third-place finish a few weeks back, and here you are looking strong again.
Actually, I have no idea. It just seems like we've come and we ran the mile a couple of weeks ago, and we ran around there pretty quick, and all of a sudden we got a lot of confidence. And once we're confident, I guess we go a lot quicker, and running with these boys definitely helps your confidence if you can run with them good, because they are the best in the world.
Good luck to you in the main event.
Thank you very much.
And there's that word again, confidence, Ralph and Brad.
Absolutely. You know, one more point about Carl. Asked him about the Mopar deal. He said, hey, they don't have enough money to get me. If I didn't think I could win with it, I wouldn't do it. We'll be right back with you.
Still paying too much for car insurance? Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more. At Geico, we get the ball rolling on your claim quickly. Even in the middle of the night. Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Want to clean the whole house fast?
Nothing can stop her, nothing can stop my
So, want to clean everything, everywhere, fast?
Hey, Parquet. What's the word?
Better.
Better? Aren't you supposed to say butter?
Better.
Butter.
Better.
Look at how you melt. Just like butter. You really do taste better.
Butter.
Parquet. The flavor says
butter.
Orange juice.
What did you say?
Orange juice. You've got a cold. You need fluids, vitamin C, and other nutrients.
I get it. Why can't we just have a dog?
I heard that.
100% pure Florida orange juice. Are you drinking enough?
Been baking my chunky chicken pot pie. It's back at KFC. Flaky crust, chunks of chicken, loads of veggies, just $3.99 with a drink. Now that's some meal. So come on in and bring your appetite.
Nestle Flips. They're completely irresistible.
Ooh, there's an odd number in there. Bad luck. Now it's even.
Roll Gold pretzels and Nestle milk chocolate.
Odd number. Now it's even.
Nestle Flips. What's your excuse?
Las Vegas is without a doubt the entertainment capital of the world, and that's, of course, why we like to come here for the Channellock Fall Classic. There's so much to do here in Vegas, and you never know where the TNN cameras are going to show up. That's little Kevin Swindell, and to the right, yeah, that's our reigning champion right there, Sammy. They are 1,200 feet up in the air atop of the stratosphere. That, of course, is Richie Wagner, one of his crewmen with him. Now, look at the expressions here. Kevin, he's having a ball.
Cool.
Richie thinks it's great. You see the white knuckle grip that Sammy's got going on that thing?
Terrified.
Absolutely petrified. Petrified. I love that. Sammy Swindell, slamming Sammy, our three-time champ.
He's about 2 months early.
He won't be white-knuckling that sprint car steering wheel, though, will he, Bobby Gerald?
Steve Kinser, the driver of car number 11, getting ready for his last World of Outlaws feature event of the 1998 season. He will push off as the champion of this series, the 15th time that he has done that. And Steve, if we know anything about Steve and his competitive nature, he's going out here, guys, with the guns blazing. He will be looking for victory. We might even get a chance to sneak in a word here with the King as he gets set to go. Steve, any thoughts on this final race of the 1998 season here as we get set to do it?
How about that?
They're still talking to Steve in his ear right now. Steve, what do you think about this final race of the 1998 season?
Well, let's just hope we guessed right, go out there and get us a good finish, and maybe win this thing.
You went with a soft compound tire on the right rear, the 20, is that correct?
Well, we don't know. It's starting to lay a little bit of rubber, looks like off-4, but we'll just see what happens.
And Steve Kinser is ready to go. He will have that soft compound number 20 Goodyear on the right rear.
Well, there's another Kinser who's getting pretty good. Craig Kinser, the 14-year-old son of Steve, his oldest boy, has already picked up 2 wins in a 600cc mini sprint this year. His chief mechanic, Bob Kinser. And they say that Bob's patience in working with Craig is unbelievable. And they say this is really becoming a pretty strong combination. And one of the kids that he races against is Cole Carter, who's Pancho Carter's boy. So they're having a lot of fun over there. And they say that Craig, this comes from Owen Snyder, who is, Eddie Cheever's crew chief, who happens to be the brother-in-law of Steve Kinser. He says from everything that they've seen with Craig is that Craig is smoother and that he's even more patient than Steve ever was. They think he could actually be even better than Steve.
Wow,
that's a statement.
Interesting at the top of the show, when I talked to Steve Kinser, he used the word fun. We're having fun. I had never heard him say that in all the interviews that I've done with him for almost 15 years. And you can see it on their faces. They're all smiling. They're all having a good time, and that's part of their success.
Speaking of fun, how about the 1999 Pennzoil World of Outlaw television schedule? Grab your pen and paper. Here it is. We're going to go racing even longer with you live on TNN in 1999. Las Vegas, Terre Haute, Williams Grove, Joliet, Illinois. Can't wait to go to that one. Topeka, Kansas. That's going to be exciting. You heard us talking about that. The drag strip, we're going to put dirt on top of it, go racing there. One of the highlights of the 98 schedule was Fargo, North Dakota. We're going back July 10th. Eldora, Earl, we love you. You know we're coming. And the granddaddy of them all, Knoxville, Iowa, for the Amoco Knoxville Nationals. We'll be there for that one. Greenwood, Nebraska, we're going right back there. And, of course, we'll wrap it all up November 3rd, 1999, right here in Vegas. Hey, the A-Main getting set to go when we come back.
I'm Hank Parker, and this is the bass fishing game from Radican. If you like fishing, this is it. You cast like you're really fishing. Jerk to set the hook and reel him in. The game shakes when you hook him. Man, you can feel that bass right on your line. Now, I'm a pro, and I'm telling you, this is the real thing.
Dad, I caught that 25-pounder.
Boy, it's wearing me out. Bass fishing, feel the bass on the line. Also, lunker and junior bass fishing from Radican.
Been baking my chunky chicken pot pie. It's back at KFC. Flaky crust, chunks of chicken, loads of veggies, just $3.99 with a drink. Now that's some meal. So come on in and bring your appetite.
We're back to Las Vegas at Pennzoil World of Outlaws here on TNN Motorsports. It's Motor Madness with the Outlaws for the final time in 1998. The season finale as we bring down the curtain on this championship season. What a year it's been, too, for Steve Kinser.
You know, that piece we did on Carl Kinser, when he talked to Mopar a year ago, he didn't ask what the horsepower numbers were, what the torque was. He said, how much does it weigh? He's so weight conscious.
Now, we haven't raced here at Vegas a whole lot yet because it's a pretty new racetrack, but here's a look at those that have found their way to Victory Lane. Pretty interesting, huh?
Just those two.
And I've got Jeff Swindell in the pool here. He's starting way back, but he's already won twice.
Wait a minute. February 7th, 97, he did it coming out of the B main.
He sure did.
You got it.
He sure did.
Come on, Jeff.
So Jeff starting from the back is not a problem here at this racetrack at all.
Sometimes, you know, you heard Steve talking about the 20 tire, Ralph, and taking a little bit of rubber. I mean, this is all a guessing game. The dirt track, the track itself can change. The surface can change during the main event, and you're just out guessing what the track is going to do the last 10 laps of the race. So it's just two guesses right.
Let's take a look off the back of Herrera's car now. We were talking earlier about the different colors of the dirt, Brad, and tell the folks on how much you were telling us about what you see.
Okay, you can see the light brown spots. That's where there's a little bit of moisture. Unfortunately, these divots in the racetrack, it's down in, and they can't get a hold of that. They're riding on top on these little bit of bumps and ripples. Now, if you look on the right of your screen, down along the bottom, you see that brown strip? That's where they try to get that left rear end coming off the corner. So you try to get some bite.
You can see the good stuff, you just can't get to it.
Right, because it's down in a divot, and you can't get a hold of it.
Always replace your divots, Evans.
Are there some racetracks where you could almost run slicks on these cars?
Yes, there really is, because I mean, it's still dirt track. You still have to have a groove to get the dirt out of there, but sometimes it's almost like maybe it would be better.
I mean, let's remember years ago they had tread on Indianapolis cars at the Speedway. There were tread on stock car tires.
Yeah, if the track is smooth enough and clean enough, which means there's not a lot of dust and dirt laying on top of it, the less tread would possibly be better, but nobody builds a tire for that because it doesn't happen that often.
Oh, here's some guys really taking a chance, huh? Going out on a limb. Sedalia, Missouri.
15 times Steve Kinser will have been crowned the Pennzoil World of Outlaws champion. I mean, in any form of sport, baseball, football, basketball, that is one of the most unbelievable championship things you've ever seen. Bobby Gerald?
Ralph, tonight is World of Outlaw A-Main number 1,340. While there have been 69 different winners over that time, over the 21 years, the parity this year, we've talked about it all season long with everybody winning the different races. A couple of interesting notes on the championship this year. The first time in the history of the series, the guy who won the most races did not win the championship. The guy who won the most races, obviously, Stevie Smith. This is also the first time in World of Outlaw series history that the winner has only won races in the single digits. So that tells you about how the parity has been this year and how consistent, really, Steve Kinser has been.
Let's take a look at the A-Main lineup here as we get set for the feature. Mark and Steve Kinser on row number 1. Donnie Schatz and Sammy Swindell will make up row number 2. Danny Lasowski and Tyler Walker back in row 3. Brent Kading and Jack Hodenshield in row number 4. His final ride of the Pennzoil car. Peter Murphy and Terry McCarl in row 5. Johnny Herrera and Gary Wright in row 6. Dale Blaney and Jeff Shepard in the 7th row. Blake Robertson and Dean Jacobs in row 8. Joe Gertie and Joey Saldana in row 9. Stevie Smith and Kevin Pilot will come out of the back of row 10. Jeff Swindell and Travis Whitney in row 11. Danny Hillenberg and Darren Pittman making up row 12. And Tim Schaefer comes in with the provisional in row 13. To Bobby.
Well, the only question maybe that hasn't been answered yet is what's going to happen to Jimmy Carr, the crew chief, co-crew chief this year for Danny Lasowski in 1999. Jimmy, what are your plans?
Tonight's the last night with the Ross team. Sorry to be leaving, but I get a chance to drive again next year, so I'm going to take the opportunity to go on. Not too sure what it's going to be for sure yet, but there's a chance I'll drive for an existing Outlaw car here, or maybe there's a brand new team that's going to start.
All right, well, we'll miss you out here. Maybe if you are driving, we'll get to see a whole lot.
I hope you get to see me a whole lot.
All right, right now he'll be busy cheering on number 83 to the front.
Jimmy Carr plans on, if he can, working whichever team he drives for out of Lasowski shops in Missouri, so they won't be too far apart.
It is amazing how many very fast cars are in the last 3 rows. Stevie Smith, we saw him right in that high group, just wired it in the heat. Jeff Swindell, Andy Hillenberg, all at the very back.
The traditional 4 wide from the Pennzoil World of Outlaws, their famous salute to the fans as we get set for the 65th and final A feature event of 1998. What a season it's been.
What you're saying there, Steve, is the drivers don't like it, but it usually puts on a good show for us fans.
The crowd saluting them back. Everybody waving their hats, everybody on their feet. It's a neat moment.
Down into turn number 1 now. They'll start to form back up into their 2 wide as they get set to go racing.
I tell you, the little tracks, the quarter miles, the 4 abreast can be a real challenge.
Yeah, you bet, with the stagger on the car wanting to pull left all the time.
Let's take a look at the onboards that we'll have tonight, brought to you by Crane Cams. Mark Kinser will bring you this one. That, of course, will come right up off the front row. The other one being carried is with Johnny Herrera tonight.
Herrera's dangerous when you give him a camera.
To Dave Reed.
I'm down with Guy Forbrook, along with Scott Girk and Toon Steve Kinser to this championship. First of all, congratulations. And quickly, can we pinpoint you on maybe plans for 1999?
I really don't have any plans yet, but if I couldn't pick up a corporate sponsor for my own team, there's no sense leaving the best team out here in the country right now. I'd rather stay right where I'm at.
Speaking of green, we are just about to go green.
One thing for sure with Guy Forbrook, he's going to be a daddy. His new wife expecting a baby daughter in about February. Here we go. Coming off of turn 4, the last A feature of 98 is underway. We go as you watch Brent Kading sliding wide. Mark Kinser will lead him off the 2. Cousin Steve, the new champ, right behind him.
Mark is bullet fast, just the way it was last night. Put 3 car lengths on his cousin on the backstretch.
Look at Sammy on the outside of
Whoa, baby.
And Peter Murphy right behind him in the 0 car. Shots protecting the bottom. Here comes Jack Honshield in the 22, and Johnny Herrera behind him. Danny Lasowski sweeping into view. He's going after Steve Kinser. That's a fight for second. Look at this battle going on.
Blake Robertson.
Travis Whitney in the 7. Andy Hillenberg in the black Luxair number 2.
There's Stevie Smith joining the fray.
Jacobs in the 8 car. Here's Dale Blaney, the new Rookie of the Year. He's battling with Joey Saldana upstairs in that black and yellow car. There's Gertie in the 8 car. And Tyler Walker. Andy Hillenberg.
Man, he looked like he was shot out of a cannon. Got a good fight out of turn 2. That's going into 3.
Andy started in the last row.
That Luxair car is flying. There goes Joey Saldana around Travis Whitney in the white car. It's Mark Kinser, Steve Kinser, Danny Lasowski. Your top 3. Sammy Swindell runs in 4th. 5th position is Peter Murphy. He's holding off right now. Joe Gertie, that's a fight for 12.
And Gertie slid up there, and Tyler Walker shot by on the inside.
So give that position to Walker. That's 13th now to Tyler.
When Tyler swept Manzanita a couple of weeks ago, he got on the car at the finish line and did a couple of backflips. He was a gymnastics ability there.
Yeah, he's taking gymnastics, and that's his trademark now when he wins, to do a backflip.
Steve Kinser in the Quaker State number 11. The new champ runs in 2nd place. There's the difference back to Danny Lasowski's Beef Packers car. You saw Mark Kinser flash by up high. There's Mark.
Ooh, the dude tried him down low.
It takes so much patience as a driver on a racetrack like this because you just can't smash the throttle. You got to let the car hook up and wait and wait and wait for it, and sometimes it looks like you're almost stopped in the corners.
Remember, Lasowski's car was junk last night. They completely rebuilt that Beef Packers car from the front to the back. Everything is fresh on that car except for the chassis. Boy, he's looking pretty strong. Look at the different line he takes around the bottom. Really driving it where Steve's sliding it, Brad.
Because if you slide the car, you can get the right rear or the left rear out of that moisture on the bottom, and Danny's rolling the corner like he's driving asphalt.
He's got a brand new Bob Westfall motor in that thing, and it is making some power. Probably well over 800 in a 1,200-pound car. That's a power-to-weight ratio that will scare you to death.
Right now, he looks faster than Steve Kinser. Looks like Steve was holding him up there for a little bit. Look at this.
And they might catch Mark Kinser before they're done. Lasowski picked up his 4th win of 98 in Houston last month. Here comes Sammy Swindell. He's up in the 5th in the Channellock car.
Sammy, too tight. Look at that push right there. Too tight. It gives Gary Wright a run at him going into turn 1.
That's for 5th.
We got a yellow. Got Tyler Walker slow up in turn 2.
Tyler Walker going to try to pull it right off the racetrack. Walker was just awesome at the Western World out in Phoenix 2 weeks ago. Winning both nights. And Tyler's night is done.
Is he 20 years old yet? I don't think so.
No, I don't believe he is either.
On board with Herrera. Now the final A feature already building up to a good one. Stay tuned to TNN Motorsports for the rest of the Channellock Fall Classic.
Team Mopar. Parts for sprint cars and your vehicle. Get real. Get Mopar. Team Mopar. Parts for NASCAR Super Truck and your vehicle. Get real. Get Mopar.
Hungry for a
a deal that's long on taste? Drive in for Sonic's Coney and Tots Special. An extra long cheese coney topped with chili and cheese, plus regular tater tots, all at a special low price. So break away from the ordinary and drive into Sonic for a change.
Dad, you're not going to use those, are you?
But you told me to use Bacos.
That was so yesterday.
Now there's new Bacos with better bacon taste and still no saturated fat.
You got to keep up, Dad.
With better bacon taste, new Bacos makes every bite better.
Don't miss your only chance to see the dramatic conclusion of the rain-delayed Matco Duels Super Nationals. It's a special hour-long NHRA Today, Sunday at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific on TNN Motorsports.
A man started pounding on our back door. My children were home alone. He almost got in. My oldest daughter pushed the brakes panic button. The man stopped and ran away.
In a world you can't always trust, there's one name you can. For over 135 years, Brinks has been protecting people and their valuables around the world. Now this same trusted name can protect your family. Brinks introduces the Brinks Family Safety Sale. Call this number by November 30th, and Brinks will install its standard system for only $49 in most markets. Incredibly, just $49. But there's more. Brinks will also install a second keypad, a $155 value absolutely free. But you must call by November 30th. When it comes to the finest in home security, there's only one Brinks.
We're back to the Channellock Fall Classic here in Las Vegas. Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Tyler Walker able to fix whatever was wrong with the 35. He is tagged onto the back. Here's a look at the top 5. Mark and Steve Kinser started on the front row. They hold that. Daniel Lasowski started 5th. He is up to 3rd. Peter Murphy and Sammy Swindell chasing. Bobby?
Well, guys, Tyler Walker was unhappy with the right rear tire selection that they pushed off for the A-main width. Before, there were too many laps down in this race, and he wasn't competitive. He wanted to pull in, get another tire on. They have now switched to a very soft compound 20 Goodyear. That's what's on the right rear of Tyler Walker. I'm not sure yet what tire came off of the 35 because they had scrubbed off the compound number, and the crew was a little bit secretive about what they had on there initially.
Brad, 21 laps to go. Will he survive it then?
Yeah, the way the track is, it's not real abrasive, as we heard him say, so it should last with no problem, really. Cool night like this, it's not as hard on tires.
Sammy Swindell right now sits in 5th. He is 0 for the last 39 races.
That's unbelievable.
Hard to believe.
It just shows how competitive this is this year.
Last win came at San Jose. Here we go. Look at this. Mark tries to dive to the bottom. Steve faked high. Now we're going green at the line.
But with that cone rule there, Steve had a run on him, but had to back out the throttle and wait till he got past the cone.
On board with Johnny Herrera from the 47 car, giving chase.
There you can see that brown strip right around the bottom that they're all fighting and hugging down there trying to get a hold of.
There's Johnny blocking Gary Wright. Right now, that is a fight for 6th position.
Well, anybody who wasn't in the first 4 spots desperately needed that yellow flag to bunch this thing back up again.
Oh, look at Jeff going by.
Oh, he tags Brent Kading.
But, you know, that was a deal where Brent probably won't agree with this, but, you know, Brent got kind of messed up there a little bit, and Jeff shot under him, and Brent kind of came back down, and they just made some contact.
Jeff Swindell is flying through the field as you watch him from the nose of Johnny Herrera's car. Swindell started 21st. Oh! That's a payback. Brent Kading let Jeff Swindell know exactly what he thought of that last move. Swindell had gotten all the way up to 8th after starting 21st. Contact was made with Brent Kading, and I think Jeff Swindell just found out what Brent thought of that.
Hello.
Now,
oh boy,
let's take a look at this. These are 2 veterans, boy, and Jeff Swindell really likes racing here at Vegas, so you know he's going to be aggressive. Here he comes. That's Kevin Pilot. He gets around there. Now here comes that DuPont number 2. Watch Kading.
That Aussie, Peter Murphy, is charging through the pack and is currently...
Nips him. And around he goes.
And you know, Brent Kading is probably the biggest sprint car driver, and Jeff's one of the smaller ones, so I don't know if Jeff would say anything about this or not.
Oh, yeah, he would.
Look at it.
He's a Swindell. Of course he would.
I'll tell you what, that was such a slick move by Kading.
Watch this. He tries to keep the motor lit.
You could actually argue the point if you're Brent Kading that you weren't really trying to do that. That's how smooth that was. That was a classic move.
Well, you never convinced Jeff that that wasn't intentional. Just like,
Absolutely.
Just like Brent, like I said earlier, it looked like Brent came down a little bit, and they just got together. You see Jeff waving frantically at the World of Outlaw officials. He wants something done about that.
Wants his spot back. Well, you know, these two went at each other quite a bit when Jeff was running in California back in the late 80s. So, here we go. He's going to slide right back up there, the 104 octane boost car. Now, let's see what BK does here.
The king of California.
Going on there, huh?
It's a good thing we don't have onboard audio right now.
A lot of yelling going on, and nobody can hear each other over the engines and the helmets, but a lot of conversation
This would be worse than Sammy Hagar at Farm Aid.
Boy, Jeff not happy. And look at this, Bobby Jackson pulling him off the racetrack. Bobby Jackson sending him off the racetrack. The competition director throwing Jeff Swindell off the track.
Well, he had it furled up. I think he's telling him to get to the back or he's going to be black flagged, Ralph. When it was furled up like that.
Well, we got a note that they were going to throw a DQ at him, but we'll just wait and see officially what they do here.
I think that was more of a warning, Ralph. Get back there
or you will be DQ'd.
Exactly. If it's still furled up, you're usually just warned. As Steve said, Jeff got on the throttle, tried to keep it going, but got up on that berm and just couldn't keep the engine lit.
Here's one more look at it. Kading right in there. I mean, that is...
You know, I'm not sure, that Brent would set out to do that, but if he did do it on purpose, the opportunity was there, and maybe he just took it. But
well, like I'm saying, it was so smooth that if you were trying to do it, you got it smoothly and you did it right.
Yep.
If you weren't trying to do it, it was so close that it could go either way.
All he did was not lift.
Yeah.
He just stayed on the gas. Whatever happens, happens. I am the king of California.
Two veteran sprint car drivers who know a lot about hustling 800 horsepower, 1,100-pound sprint cars around an oval.
Well, Brent's 11-time NARC champion, 6 in a row, so he definitely knows his way around the racetrack.
We're going to go green here in a second. Mark Kinser, Steve Kinser, Danny Lasowski, Peter Murphy, and Sammy Swindell. Mark up over the inside berm. Does that hinder him? Oh, look at Murphy around the outside.
Whoa, the zero car.
And Sammy goes with him. Right up and around Lasowski, who now tries the outside and then cuts back to the bottom.
Well, it was a bold move for Peter Murphy to go up there and try that. Look, there must be getting some rubber down up there. You saw Peter Murphy pushing. It must be getting sticky up there, Ralph.
Boy, I'll tell you what, it's fast, that's for sure.
We didn't think that, but he's the fastest one doing it, so he either found some rubber there.
Well, his best ever finish was a third at Houston. Let's see what he can do. He's running second right now, and here comes Lasowski. He gets inside of Steve Kinser to take third.
That was the highest finish for an Australian, was third. He's running second now. Peter Murphy.
On the front wing of Peter Murphy's car, it says Australia Overnight Trucking. Those must be really fast trucks.
Channellock #1, just in front of Gary Wright. Sammy Swindell holding him off for fifth.
See that? The guys are starting to push, Ralph. It's getting rubber down in the middle of 3 and 4. Now the guys with the softer tires, will they last?
Terry McCarl having a good night in the 24. He's in 7th, and Brent Kading right behind him in the 2 car. BK running well. He's up to 8th. Look at McCarl leaning on that right rear.
See that? They're pushing. The car's laying on the right rear. That means the right rear stuck so hard. They run softer suspensions when the racetrack gets slow and slick like this. They put softer torsion bars, softer shocks. When it starts getting a bite like that, the thing leans over, and it feels like you're going to fall right out of the race car.
Carl Kinser has always been the genius at having the racetrack come to him. Look at this, Murphy.
Peter Murphy is catching Mark Kinser.
Mark Kinser doing everything he can to hold on for the win here. Murphy really running him down.
Good eye, Mike.
Look at this. 14 laps to go, and he is coming.
And traffic just in front of him. So that line that worked for you to get there might be gone by the time you catch the traffic.
Yeah, but how hard has Mark Kinser been running up front? He wasn't getting a lot of pressure. He's saving his tires. He's got some juice in there.
Well, if he's got anything left, he's going to have to go because Peter Murphy has got a run on him.
got it. Run nothing. He's got it. Peter Murphy takes the lead. The driver out of Sydney, Australia, leads him as they come up to lap traffic, including Blake Robertson. And Walker blocks him a little bit. And Mark Kinser to the bottom where he takes the spot.
No.
Almost contact through 3 and 4.
Look at that. That really cost Mark
a huge amount.
You know, Peter Murphy, I don't believe, has a radio. They are an underfunded team. Probably didn't spend the money for a radio. He doesn't know where these guys...
He's got Jeff Swindell in front of him. He gets around him. Here's Steve Kinser now. That's a fight for third. Steve Kinser trying to work through there. He's chasing in the back. This is a fight for fifth now. Steve is falling way back. He's chasing Gary Wright. Lisowski holds on to third still.
Think of all the Aussies that have tried to win an outlaw race. It's been a dream for the race fans down under for the last 10 years that the Aussies have been coming here. And maybe Peter does it tonight.
And he's such a nice guy. I've got to know him in the last few months, lining this deal up for me going to Australia and things. And this would be great. There's Sammy Swindell in the Channellock #1.
He's slipping back. He's in 7th right now. Murphy did win a NARC race earlier this year in Tulare, California, the Northern Auto Racing Club. Here's McCarl. Terry having a real strong run battling with Sammy Swindell. They're fighting for about 6th and 5th position. They got Steve Kinser just in front of him. He holds 5th. Swindell is 6th. McCarl is 7th. Kading is 8th. Dale Blaney 9th. Schatz runs in 10th.
I'm shocked when I look at the standings. That graphic on the screen with that 0 car on top of there with just, what, half a dozen laps to go?
Well, like 7 laps to go, and he's just got to keep his nose clean. Watch that traffic.
You think he's pumped right now? Oh, baby.
McCarl dominated Sioux Falls this year, claiming 12 victories. Sammy Swindell 0 for the last 39.
I mean, this will be headlines.
Look at Lisowski sliding the rear end around, trying to figure out which way to turn that thing. And Gary Wright just gets around him, so Wright now takes over third.
Jeff Shepard there, that's in turn 3.
Wright with some 32 feature victories in different divisions across the country in '98. He's up to third here tonight with the Outlaws. Lisowski is 4th. Swindell now gets around as we go back to the lead battle. Sammy moves up around Steve Kinser for 5th. And here we go with Murphy, and Mark Kinser gets right around him.
Might be a deal that, it looks like Murphy's right rear tire's going flat. It looks like his right rear is really...
Yeah, he's slowing way down. You're right, Brad. Good call.
Well, when he went by there, the car looked like it was really laying on the right rear, and he might have had a soft compound and it burnt through. Well, it still looks like it's up there, but...
Whatever happens, he's scared him to death with that under-finance, as you said, 0 car. Pure ability and desire.
Oh, mixed emotions. So, you know, he's probably going to be happy with 2nd, but obviously disappointed that he didn't win this thing.
Still be the best finish ever for an Australian.
Yeah. Well, when they found out in Australia ran 3rd, he was like a national hero. I mean, you know, and a win would have been great, but a 2nd.
There's Mark Kinser. He's leading it right now. The winner here last night, the winner of the last race at Paris. He might make it 3 in a row here. The white flag comes out. Murphy's up to 2nd. Sammy Swindell has moved up to 3rd. Lisowski's 4th. Wright has slipped back to 5th. On the last lap, the working 5M. Next year, he's going to drive the Mopar. Mark Kinser's going to win the 65th A-feature of 1998 for the Pennzoil World of Outlaws. Here's Sammy Swindell. He's battling with Daniel Lisowski in the fight for 3rd. They come off of 3 and 4. Swindell holds him off to the line. There is Mark Kinser, the driver of the working 5M. We'll be talking to our winner here, the Channellock Fall Classic, when we return to Las Vegas.
Brought to you by Microsoft Web TV Service. Web TV. Watch what's possible.
I like Web TV because I can email pictures of the kids to my mom back in Iowa right through the television. That'll make her day. Of course, I don't have any kids of my own yet, so I'm going to use the Spony television family to help me demonstrate. All right, people, smile. Now I'll send it to Mom on her Web TV. It'll freak her out. Dear Mom, I'll explain later. Love, Tombo.
Web TV service, the internet, television, and more.
Every day, people all over America dial 10-10-321 to save money. And they save a lot. 50% on all their calls over 20 minutes. All day, every day. And from now until November 12th, dialing 10-10-321 not only can save you 50%, every call will also automatically enter you for a chance to win the $10,000 daily prize. 10-10-321. 50% savings every day. And every day, a $10,000 winner.
Hey, Parquet.
What's the word?
Better.
Better?
Aren't you supposed to say butter?
Better.
Butter.
Better. Look at how you melt.
Just like butter.
You really do taste better.
Butter.
Parquet. The flavor says
Butter.
My dentist told me about this new gum.
It's in the toothpaste aisle.
This gum cleans, whitens, freshens.
Toothpaste aisle.
Toothpaste aisle.
New Arm & Hammer Dental Care Gum with baking soda reduces unsightly plaque up to 25%. Dental Care Gum.
Toothpaste aisle.
When it comes to your health, never compromise, even when choosing a laxative. You need one that's strong enough to work overnight, but also gentle. Try doctor-recommended Dulcolax. Its comfort coating even protects your stomach. Get strong, get gentle, get doctor-recommended Dulcolax.
Nestle Flips. They're completely irresistible. Ooh, I think I'll have one more. Right after this one. Rolled Gold pretzels and Nestle milk chocolate.
I'd share, but, why?
Nestle Flips. What's your excuse?
Welcome back to TNN Motorsports coverage of the Pennzoil World of Outlaws. We've thrown the final checkered flag of the season. The Channellock Fall Classic is over. Dave Reef is with our winner.
And coming out of Mark Kinser's mouth is a big sigh.
Yeah, I tell you what. Old Petey showed us a track here and stretches out pretty good, to tell you the truth. I got caught up in some lap cars, and he got out of our sight, and there. I started finding some rubber getting off of 3 and 4, and in turn it happened to Pete. He got hung up, and we run him down. My hat off to the crew, working, Phil Durst, Ray Williams. I tell you what, they've hung with me through a long year, 100-some races, and we ended it with a win.
Were you saving anything? It looked like you might have been possibly sitting back.
No, Dave, I wasn't saving nothing. Changed my line on the last final restart. I'm not so sure if I shouldn't have stayed with the line I had. That's part of sprint car racing. It's just like we could get this car back up front.
What a way to go on.
Come on up here, get in the victory lane.
Well, for the first time ever, we have got an owner-driver champion, and we'll be introducing you to him when we return back to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway with more Motor Madness here on TNN Motorsports.
The Honda ATVs. The desert can't beat them. The jungle can't beat them. Mountains, rocks, water, even a fall from 1,000 feet can't beat them. And if you thought these Hondas were tough to beat before, now they come with no down payment and 9.8% APR financing, but only until December 31st. Tough to beat deals from your Honda dealer. Honda ATVs, best on earth.
Here's a warm reminder that at Red Lobster, the season isn't over.
Mud holes, dirt roads. Most people wouldn't think of driving through stuff like that. But then that's the beauty of Subaru all-wheel drive. It automatically transfers power from the wheels that slip to the wheels that grip, which means it does the thinking for you.
Sorry, mate. Guess I wasn't thinking.
Subaru, the beauty of all-wheel drive.
Some lenders have turned getting a home loan into a game. They're offering cash rebates, skip payments, and even free phone cards. But First Plus doesn't play games when it comes to giving you a home loan. They give homeowners what they want in a loan, lower payments, so you can save money each month. No games, no gimmicks, just serious savings that start right away. So whether you're looking to refinance, consolidate bills, or make home improvements, give First Plus a call. They don't play games with you or your money. Call 1-800-510-PLUS.
We're back to the Channellock Fall Classic, where for the first time ever, we will crown a Pennzoil World of Outlaw champion who is an owner-driver. And for the 15th time, it's a soggy due to champagne, Steve Kinser.
Yes, he is. And Steve, congratulations. I know before the races tonight and when you checked in, you were trying so hard to keep your stone face on, your race face on, but now you can let it all out. You're the 15-time champion.
Oh, it's been a tough year, but these guys did a real good job all year. And I'll tell you what, we've fought it hard, and we stayed right in the top 5 all year, and you know, just had a good race car. And we got a good race team right now. Let's hope we keep it together and go to work this winter. And we would still like to be just a touch quicker, but we're all happy right here.
There's a lot of people that have jinxed themselves by predicting another championship the following season. Any predictions from you, Steve, about next year as Dana gets you? I think Dana's been saving that one up all season long.
Well, I don't know. We'll just go back this winter and work a little bit and see what we come up with next year. But I want to thank Quaker State, and I'm glad we got Quaker State a championship, especially in this Pennzoil series. And with the merger and stuff, it's going to be under one umbrella. But we're real proud of Quaker State, Franklin Power Products, and Scott Gherkin, Guy Forbeck, Jimmy McBee, Olin Baxter, my dad, my family, everybody that's helped us. My wife's with me all the time, my kids, and it's just happy to win one as a driver and an owner. It's really special, trust me.
Congratulations on behalf of everybody associated with TNN and Diamond P. We've enjoyed watching you all season long and all throughout your career, and we hope to do more of it next season.
Well, we've enjoyed having you and being able to take it to everybody's television sets all across the United States. We run just all over the United States, and there's a lot of good sprint car fans, and they're probably the best fans there is.
Congratulations once again, Steve. He's about to be introduced as the 1998 World of Outlaws champion.
The legend continues to grow. Steve Kinser. He's done it all with the Pennzoil World of Outlaws. We'll be right back. We got more.
I feel a presence. Harold, is that you?
Parts for sprint cars and your vehicle. Get real. Get Mopar. Team Mopar. Parts for NASCAR Super Truck and your vehicle. Get real. Get Mopar.
Web TV is so easy, anyone can use it. Let's say you're an awards judge for daytime television. With Web TV, you can look up a website and watch television at the same time. And since you're so busy with your judging duties, Web TV can even remind you to watch a show, like this one. Not that you're forgetful or anything.
Web TV service, the internet, television, and more.
Hey, Parquet, what's the word? Better. Better? Aren't you supposed to say butter? Better. Butter. Better. Look at how you melt. Just like butter. You really do taste better.
Butter. Parquet. The flavor says
butter.
Been making my chunky chicken pot pie. It's back at KFC. Flaky crust, chunks of chicken, loads of veggies, just $3.99 with a drink. Now that's some meal. So come on in and bring your appetite.
Welcome back to Las Vegas, where everybody's heading back into town. The Channellock Fall Classic is wrapped up. The final race of 1998 with the Pennzoil World of Outlaws. Let's take a look at the full field rundown as the King celebrates his 15th championship. Well, Steve, any final thoughts as you look through that full field rundown?
Yeah, that zero car right there, Peter Murphy. How about that guy? And the emotions he's going through right now, we could tell from up here in his body language. Thrilled and disappointed all at the same time.
Yeah, he has to be. But I was thinking about Steve Kinser, that champagne, how bad that burns the eyes. Get that stuff in there.
Well, it's been an absolutely great season, and you know, and as we get set, time to take one more look back at this 1998 racing season with the Outlaws. As these warriors pull up the track for the final time, memories flash into your mind of the long hours and hard work of chasing the championship. Oh, but what a title fight it has been. But what else would you expect from the Outlaws? Here we go, coming to the green.
Jack Hodgson, congratulations, man. That was awesome.
I'll say one thing, my boy done a hell of a job of driving.
Did you see that? Johnny Hollywood Herrera wins again.
Got a good team right now, and I'd hate to see any part of it go.
Boy, no luck involved there. He absolutely earned it. We salute you, number 18, and celebrate a brilliant career. Because, Brad Doty, you are the man.
The 38th annual Amoco Knoxville National set to go for $100,000.
Sammy goes to the bottom. Danny's got to try the top. Oh, how devastating for Danny, though.
Look at that, Danny, to the bottom. Danny Lazowski goes by Sammy Swindell. Way to go, too.
Thank you, John. This is great. Believe me. I'll tell you what, guys. Yes.
The Wild Child could be the spoiler here in the back end of the season, and he did it here tonight. The 1998 Pennzoil World of Outlaw Championship season comes to a close. Mark Kinser with the final victory gets set to drive a Mopar, and Steve Kinser is crowned the 15th time as the World of Outlaw champion. For Dave Reef, Bobby Gerald, Steve Evans, and Brad Doty, I'm Ralph Sheen. So long for tonight. We'll see you March 6, 1999 in Vegas.